Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall. It was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Impossible. It must have been something else. Oh, of course, that mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine. But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of two different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us. The workers took the artifact and placed it into the Cabinet of Curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that. Ah yes, my mother's studio. She was an authenticator, and this was her Cabinet of Curiosities.
I never saw the point. What does it matter if some artifact is real or not? It still exists.
I remember this cozy blanket. It was perfect for...
Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
A full collection. It's somehow so satisfying. So many calling cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand. Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting. Officer Luciano J. Placido. This drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Ah, Sherry.
Carefully opened. Dated 24th of April, 1869. A full collection. It's somehow so satisfying.
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction.
That's for the best. I'd be upset if he fell into the wrong hands.
The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man. And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets. Clearly, it was deliberately torn. I wonder why someone would do that. The Tulpa, Studies in Tibetan Mentalism. An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject. The full plate armour of Sir Robert Saunford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Armour is armour, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
I'm starting to remember something. Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
Another fake Holy Grail. Its owner claimed to be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him. Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace Dioram.
Oh, Mycroft. You always act so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down. One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable. Oh, I remember these. We used them to spar together until Mycroft found out and forbade us from using real weapons. I used this ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
We heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what, and we didn't have a great view from behind the statue. The books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now it's coming to the surface. I feel it. Ah, the memory comes back. We snuck about watching him.
He closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like two shadows crawling behind him.
The painting on the wall was slightly a tilt. He stopped and straightened it. Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait, John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if... A bit of juniper in the fireplace created a soothing atmosphere. It's the little things, isn't it? I think this is what we're looking for.
We made it. So what's there?
Dossiers on the most influential people on Cordona. Mycroft always had a habit of building files on everyone he met. Single malt whiskey, Mycroft's favourite. Gifted by Queen Victoria herself. Otto Richter. This one is rather thick. Mycroft can be truly dogged in his research.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Come on, Sherry. Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them. I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out. Sherry, look! We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside. An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this, Sherry.
Good heavens. You heard how the priest was butchered.
Bit dusty. Hasn't been touched for a couple of days. Can I ask you a question?
Can't say I know.
did wear your favourite boots. Such devotion. Angelo's footprints end here, abruptly. Not a good sign. A colourful piece of fabric as a bookmark. An elegant decision. This must have left a grievous wound. Someone had to stand here for a couple of hours at least. 11 cigarette ends of the same brand. Somebody spent some considerable time here. A hasty job by an amateur, but Angelo was taken by surprise nevertheless. Are you able to help me?
Of course. Let me help you.
Green silk, a bit worn and faded, but still an impressive hat. Someone desperately tried to stop the bleeding. I think I found the place where they took Angelo.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Take a rest, my friend. Don't cry, you'll...
The snuff's ready. We can overcome the brute now.
Take this!
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't bother moving. You...
The snuff's ready.
Just die!
It's all yours now. Go for it.
Take a rest, my... Too simple.
We can overcome the brute now. It won't work this way.
Good day.
I'm coming.
No more crime for you until next month.
I'm coming.
Give him the pepper.
Don't bother moving.
The snuff's ready. Time to knock this guy out.
No more crime for you until next month. A severed finger. No one deserves such cruelty. A primary instrument of torture. How vicious one must be to have to use it in such a way. An engraving inside. Together always and forever. They were tracking down Angelo. Keys of different shapes and sizes. What could you open with these? Bloodstains all over the mattress. Quite a collection of books, but none of them with FD as the author. He sustained a great many injuries. At last, I found you, Angelo. They severed his finger while he was still alive. Mycroft should know about this. What did you hide, Angelo?
Seems like Mycroft will get the book he wanted after all. Do you think it has a coded message inside?
Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. The bandits had as much fun as they could. The bandits had as much fun as they could.
Ah, the illustrious Mr. Holmes returns no worse for wear. And with a gripping tale to tell, no doubt.
While the matter proved rather simple in the end, I'm afraid the details are not for your ears, nor your readers.
How very tantalizing. Your brother asked that I collect your report, and a book if you obtained it.
Here is my report, and Miss Sertle. He will know if you opened it. I also retrieved the book for Mycroft.
Crime and Punishment. Sounds appropriate.
More than you may think.
Uh-huh. How so?
There's something else. I found a ring belonging to one of Mycroft's men. Did he mention anything further?
Alas, no.
Well, the man was a hero. protected the secrets of the British Empire. Here, please deliver this ring to Mycroft. I'm sure he'll know what to do.
I don't understand.
Miss Sertle, I'm afraid neither do I.
This is his ring. My Angelo's ring.
Angelo Dondolo is your fiancé.
God. Your brother told me Angelo was sent to Roma. What happened? Where is he?
There's no need to worry. Angelo's mission was covert. He probably left the ring deliberately. I suggest you carry on as normal for Mycroft.
Well, if you trust your brother, I suppose you're right. But I do worry. It's not Angelo's way. Thank you for the ring, Mr. Holmes. Now please, there are matters to which I must attend. Did you hear, Basilius?
In the police. Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
Oh, what a long day.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, it was a house. Yeah.
Excuse me, are you Mr. Capello? My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm hoping you could spare a moment to talk.
Manners, what a pleasant surprise. Most of your colleagues have lacked even the simplest of common courtesies.
You're a suspect, sir, but not yet a criminal. I shan't treat you as such. Your case is refreshingly unusual, and I wish to get to the bottom of it.
Manners and enthusiasm. Huh. May you go far, young man. What can I help you with?
You are surprisingly composed for a man accused of murder. Not so easily shaken, I take it.
Life is full of surprises. You'd be astonished how many deals go sour due to a force majeure. One becomes skilled at adapting. I am confident this will all be set straight. Until then, I will endure.
Much how you endure that injured hand. Those bruises look painful, but you seem barely aware of it. Were you attacked?
No. A minor accident, nothing more. My heady days as a man out to prove his valor are far behind me. I now know that to succeed in life, one must stay calm and plan ahead. The world will turn your way eventually. And if it does not, then one must persuade it so.
Please, tell me how you ended up in this situation.
Well, this morning some clients arrived to finalize their purchase of a Capello modular safe. But when we opened the door, out tumbled a dead man.
And I take it this wasn't normal.
No, I normally keep my corpses in the wardrobe. Please, young man, spare me your wit. The rest of the day was a blur. I recognized the victim, and it seems so did the police. That was enough to make me the main suspect.
Who sent for the authorities?
No one. As it happens, we had a break-in last night. Nothing was stolen, but for insurance purposes, the report had to be made. So, police officers just happened to be on the premises when we discovered the body in the safe.
You mentioned you were showing your wares to some prospective buyers when the safe was opened. Who were they?
Clerks from the bank. They inspected the safe from top to bottom yesterday. I assumed the sale was just a formality at that point.
And the safe was closed?
It's usually open, but it locks automatically when the door swings closed. That's another marvelous Capello invention.
A coffin that locks itself. Marvelous indeed. Help me grasp your movements yesterday. What time did you meet the customers from the bank, and did you have any other appointments?
Yesterday, the bank clerks arrived at 10 a.m. Afterwards, I was alone in the office until my wife Augusta came in at 3 p.m. I left for home at 6:30 p.m.
And what about this morning?
Our meeting for the demonstration was set for 9 a.m. I arrived about half an hour prior in order to prepare.
I have one final inquiry. Do you recall the time at which the safe door was closed?
Young man, I may just as well ask you when you closed your cigar case. I have opened our safes 12 times a day for 12 years. I do not recall.
You say you became the suspect when the police identified the victim. Is there history between you?
Surely you jest. That man and I have never met and never would, unless he became the first deity in history to use our products.
Some sort of family feud? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
You must be new to Godona. It's an old tale. Back in Italy, generations ago, the deities tried to ruin our family business. They nearly succeeded. The Capellos rightfully struck back, but there has been bad blood ever since.
And does that blood flow in you too?
I told you, sir, it's an old story, or it was. I fear this horrible event portends worse to come. My wife may be in danger as we speak.
I'd like to inquire about the burglary.
I'm not sure I see the connection, but if you wish to know more, talk to Billy Lloyd, the night watchman. He scared off the thief.
Was it also Billy that discovered the burglar?
No, my wife did. She had stayed late yesterday. Poor Augusta. At least she's safer with the police than at home alone.
Well, Mr. Capello, I think that's all I need from you at present. Where can I find your office?
Here, take my card. Billy should be on site to assist with the investigation. And please, sir, would you check on my wife before you depart?
Thank you. I will endeavor to speak with her before I leave the station.
Please, treat her gently. Women lack our resilience when it comes to ordeals like this. I shall eagerly await your return. After all, there's little else I can do.
Mrs. Capello, please wait in the office. The inspector will be here soon.
You must be the inspector.
Would you be Augusta Capello?
Must I really repeat myself to every baby-faced man in uniform that strides in?
Forgive me, I am not the inspector, but I am working on your husband's case.
Then I have nothing to say to you. Come back with the inspector in charge so that we may dispense with the endless repetition.
Whilst I prefer German composers, the harp solo from Lucia di Lammermoor stands out as one of Donizetti's finest contributions to the form. I'm sure Basilio thought the same.
He did. How? Did he tell you how we met?
Oh, there was no need. It is trivial to observe how much you value your memories of playing harp in the orchestra, and even an amateur Italian harpist would be familiar with Donizetti's finest work.
Yes. Music is a balm in these uncertain times. It is nice to meet another who appreciates it.
Much as I appreciate the truth. Please, Mrs. Capello, let me help you and your husband.
I am not unappreciative, sir. But I'm afraid I presently lack the strength.
Basilio tells me you were present during the burglary yesterday. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it gave me such a fright. I fainted, fell to the floor. I wish I could help you, but, I'm just utterly useless. Please, I want to rest before the inspector arrives.
Were you familiar with the deceased man found in the safe?
No, I did not know him, nor can I conceive of how the poor soul ended up there.
You've had quite the day, Mrs. Capello. I shall leave you be. If I have further questions, I may visit again later.
Extra, extra! Ridley rubbed out! The general's son murdered by another marine! Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it.
Refresh your interior. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase.
Take a look. Try it on. It'll be a nice purchase.
Hello there.
Ill-fitting pants, wonky nose, and hair that appears to have been cut by your own hand. You must be Billy Lloyd.
Oh, it's you! I knew you'd come.
You did?
You're Mirko Gallia, the best investigative journalist on Cordona. I'm a fan of your work.
Alas, you're mistaken. The name is Sherlock Holmes, and your employer...
Oh, of course. Discretion. I'm sorry. I doubt the policeman upstairs heard me, though, so your secret is safe with me, Sherlock.
Mr. Capello told me you were present during the burglary and scared the criminal off the property?
There, you should have seen it. As soon as the burglars saw me, they went white as death. Ran out the back door of the office. I heard a thud and cat shrieks, so I think they went over the railing and into the bushes out back. Clearly, my reputation precedes me. Mr. Capello was so proud.
You're a guard, but you didn't give chase.
Well, by the time I made it outside, they were miles away. So I went back to help Mrs. Capello. That kind of gentlemanly courtesy is why I'm so well regarded round these parts.
What did the thief look like?
Shorter than me, mid-20s, a huge scar across the right cheek going from the eye. Short hair. She didn't look like a ghost. Too corporeal.
Hold on. She? You didn't think to mention the burglar was a woman?
Why did you assume it was a man? It's the 19th century, sir. Ambitious young women are out there pursuing a career, and I, for one, encourage it.
Yes, yes, spare me the sermon. When did the burglary happen?
Oh, after 10 in the evening. I was just talking to Mrs. Capello.
Does she normally work this late?
No, it's the first time it happened. Usually I'm alone at night. I was explaining to Mrs. Capello how drinking water every 3 hours can help with digestion, when she excused herself and went back upstairs. Then there was a scream, and I ran up to the office, and...
I know what happened next, thank you. What about last evening? Do you have any more details about the break-in?
Of course. I write down everything that happens during my watch. Take a look.
Fastidious in its mundanity, but I will make of it what I can. I must go and inspect the crime scene. If I have further questions, Mr. Lloyd, I will find you.
Oh, don't worry. I won't be able to keep away.
Right.
The best on the market. You can wallop them, you can burn them. Nothing will work.
I bet he tested that himself.
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
The bottle is half empty. A wine, well enjoyed. Recently used, but why would it be here?
Wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I'm a bit claustrophobic.
Bulging veins, cyanosis, bloodshot eyes, odd foaming in the mouth. Bruises, torn nails, bleeding was severe and continued at length. Clothes are not fully buttoned. Was the victim dressing or undressing? Blood on the safe door could have been left by the victim. Clear indications of blunt trauma, possibly inflicted before the victim was in the safe. What a rotten way to die.
Yeah, what a shame.
Do you know anything else about the dead body in the safe?
Well, there is the rule of threes. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 hours in harsh weather, and 3 minutes
Of you talking?
without air. I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, very enlightening, Mr. Lloyd, thank you.
I know of it, but forgot.
Is this code memo still valid?
Oh yes, it's the same combination code everywhere. It corresponds to Mrs. Capello's birthday, actually. In fact, during this year's celebration, I was allowed a sip of champagne. That's when I had to dry my trousers, and then I had to...
Okay, thank you, Billy.
Oh, actually... No. I know of it, but forgot.
Have you noticed anything different about Mrs. Capello recently?
Not really. She talks to me more when I start my shift. Probably because of the 100 Best Curry Recipes book I'm reading. Oh, and we've been running out of paper a lot lately, so she often sends me out to buy more for her. She's very particular about the paper we use. Only one store on the island stocks it, and it's on the other side of the town. But I'm really fast.
Interesting, thank you.
I know of it, but forgot.
What can you tell me about Mr. Capello?
He's a good employer, but very focused on work, and very serious about security, of course, since he employed a night watch of my caliber. Not everyone appreciates his strict business approach, though. Store clerks don't seem to last long in the office.
Good to know.
I'm going to catch the criminal myself, but later. I'm going to catch the criminal myself. But... later. I'm going to catch the criminal myself. But... later. Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
A concert program from 7 years ago. An Augusta La Duca is listed as a harpist in the orchestra. Two theatre tickets for Shakespeare's Othello. The performance is tomorrow.
Have to respect the classics. He clearly needs a better work-life balance.
Well-organised workplace?
Mr. Capello is the best.
Okay, this chap is seriously creepy.
Do you know whose keys these are?
Probably Mr. Capello's. Police took him so suddenly. I have the same set, but it's more efficient. Has fewer keys.
So you don't have access to the entire office?
No. Only Mr. and Mrs. Capello have the key to the back door.
Do you know anything about these entries?
No. But Mr. Capello is so well organised. I use a different method. Very popular among the Buddhist monks. You create an attic in your mind and...
I'm familiar. Keep it tidy, put only necessary information in, remove unnecessary information regularly.
What? No, it's called an attic. You just stuff it with everything. You never know what might prove helpful someday.
That is profoundly upsetting.
I know of it, but forgot.
Do you know what this note might be about?
I cannot presume to know another's mind, of course, but I think Mr. and Mrs. Capello have been having some familial difficulties, probably due to their lack of children. One of my oldest friends helps couples with their relationship troubles, and he always says...
You don't have to continue.
Oh, well, he says that to me as well, but I'm perfectly happy to.
No, I insist. The letter F is inscribed within a four-leaf clover pattern. Passe muraille. Walk through walls in French. Our thief seems rather arrogant. A comprehensive set of lockpicks, recently cleaned with no fresh scratches.
I don't know. I don't know. Can we please do this later? I'm just so exhausted, sir. I don't know. Can we please do this later?
Mrs. Capello, would you think your husband capable of that which he is accused?
No. Basilio is a good man, a devoted man. I love him. He cares about his work and cares about me. He approaches all his passions with diligence and temerity. I think there is nothing he could not achieve if he set his mind to it. Indeed, in all our years together, I cannot recall a single business opportunity Basilio failed to see through.
Thank you, Mrs. Capello.
Can we please do this later?
To the best of your knowledge, does the safe's combination remain the same?
Nearly always. We have a default combination code we use on all our products for convenience. My husband can change it, though.
And no others?
I don't know. I certainly can't. Please let me rest.
maybe it would be wise to take a look around outside before we enter. Just a thought.
Is this familiar to you?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
What a long day.
Help me, please.
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Another question? I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this.
Is this note still valid?
Oh yes, we use this code by default for each safe. Now sometimes a buyer may ask to see how it can be changed, but I always reset it afterwards.
And the safe containing the body used the default code, I presume?
As it happens, no. In my demonstration, I wanted to show the bank clerks how easy it was to set a different combination.
Interesting. Thank you.
I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this. Another question? Not much to say. I'm sorry.
I'm interested in some entries in your diary that may prove important. Could you elaborate on these ones here?
Bene. I won't name the detective, but rest assured that is unrelated to the investigation. It is just one of our clients. And those safe entries are about an interested party who was going to purchase the product. We met yesterday, and today were to finalize the transaction. Alas, that opportunity is no more.
You've been a good help.
I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this.
What was your intent behind this note?
This is private, young man, and hardly relevant.
Its relevance, as it were, remains to be seen.
My wife Augusta joined me in business half a year ago, but works late hours. I worry because I love her. What else do you need to know?
I appreciate your candor.
I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this.
How long have you known your wife, Mr. Capello?
How is that relevant, young man?
Please, I need a complete picture of all the parties involved. Consider, perhaps, the possibility that the burglar was targeting your wife.
It seems unlikely, though if a Detti was out to threaten my wife... We met 7 years ago. Augusta was a harpist with an Italian orchestra. The passion in her eyes back then. I am glad she still has some of it now.
And you and your wife get along well?
I love her most dearly, and I know Augusta loves me. I fear someday she may be bored at work, but I try to give her all she wants. Have you learned anything?
Excuse me, just one question.
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Mrs. Capello, please take a moment to study this profile. Is this the woman who was in the office yesterday?
I don't remember. Please, I feel faint at the mere thought of it.
I see. Forgive me for expecting a gentleman's stamina.
Please let me rest.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Are you talking to me? You'd better not be.
Would you like to report a crime? Would you like to report a crime?
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
The officer told me to wait while he got his superior. I think I'm in.
Oh, what a long day.
Have you learned anything?
The worst clothes at the best price. The worst clothes...
The best flea market? Take a look. Maybe something will catch your eye. I hope you like what you bought.
Other gangs are planning an attack.
The worst clothes at the best price.
One man's trash is another man's furniture.
Actually, no.
The worst clothes at the best price. Step right up. Why would you... even come here then? Step right up. I hope you'll be comfortable in it. Buy some. Step right up. I hope you'll be comfortable in it.
One man's trash is another man's...
Hello, mister. I've got some information for you. Heard you were asking.
Have you now? Well, let's hear it.
All of them bandits are getting ready for a bruising. Sticks and guns and angry faces all round.
I see. Better get the boys ready. Take this for your trouble.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir. Thank you.
Now we can get all of you at once. Be ready.
It's supposed to be Philip from London.
One man's
Good
trash
impression.
is another man's furniture.
Buy some clothes and help me feed my... Family.
The best a flea market.
The worst clothes at the best price.
كيف حالك؟
Hey.
May I ask you something?
Do I look like a copper snitch?
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Too simple.
We can overcome the brute now.
I couldn't miss the party.
Don't cry, you'll live.
I'm coming. I couldn't miss the party. Take this!
Don't. The snuff.
Don't bother moving.
Time to knock this guy out. Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't cry, you'll live.
The snuff's ready.
Take a rest, my
Give him the pepper snuff. I thought we were against murder.
Okay, I give up.
And here we are, Miss Sevigny. A place where we can talk about all your recent activities. We have a nice profile on you, you know.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Is there nothing you didn't do, Miss Sevigny? Thieve for the gang, break into the Armor Capello office, kill Niccolo Detti?
What? Kill? I didn't kill nobody. No, How?
So you admit the rest. I suppose you won't mind explaining some things to me then. You were in the Armor Capello office yesterday evening, Miss Sevigny. The same place that Niccolo Detti was found dead today. What happened?
How would you know? You can't prove anything?
It's written all over you, Miss Sevigny. I presume you did not intend your evening to end with a fall over the railing and a fracas with felines? Need I continue?
Zut alors! It was just a job, nothing else. I was asked to come. Here, see for yourself. I don't know who hired me, but I think they wanted to pin the crime on me. Poor Niccolo.
When were you offered this job?
Ah, mon Dieu. I don't remember precisely. I think the letter arrived around 9:30 in the evening. It sounded tricky, but the money was good.
And you arrived at the office?
Perhaps 45 minutes later? I am very good, sir. I was in and out in 5 minutes.
I don't like lies.
No, wait. Okay. It took 15 minutes. All right? Still impressive, no?
You knew Mr. Detti, how?
Niccolo and I grew up together. I hadn't seen him in years, then ran into him on the street, smiling with some lovely lady on his arm.
And that was the last time you saw him alive?
Wait, until I found him dead yesterday. That same woman was there, too. It can't be coincidence.
You saw a woman in the office?
Mm-hmm. She started screaming, so I slammed the safe door and ran when I saw a guard coming.
Your thieving days may well be over, Miss Sevigny. Until this matter is resolved, you will remain here. Good day.
I didn't do a thing.
Oh, what a long day.
I'm afraid I have nothing to add to this.
Mr. Capello, have you anything to say about the burglar's claims?
Not a whit. The woman is a liar and a criminal. I don't give it the slightest credence, and neither should you. Have you learned anything?
What exactly was your relationship with Niccolo Detti?
Who? What are you talking about?
Madam, please, a young woman dedicated to her music and an enthusiastic artist. Your marriage to Basilio could not have offered all you needed. And then about 6 months ago, you met Niccolo Detti. There was a spark, you started to see each other. It brought passion back into your life.
How could you?
But your tryst didn't go unnoticed. Felicia Sevigny spotted you with Niccolo, but rather than cease your affair, you took care to avoid the public eye. You started working with your husband at the office and met your lover there in the evening after Basilio departed. Billy would not notice, and you hoped neither would your husband. Do I have this right so far?
Yes. I love Basilio, I truly do. But his first passion is his work. I respect that, but it left me adrift. Niccolo. Oh, sweet Niccolo. He was the man I needed. If he had had any other name, I would have talked to Basilio. But he was a Detti.
And your husband suspected something.
I think he did. He asked questions. Billy's schedule was moved forwards here. Yes. Yes, he suspected.
And thus we arrive at the heart of the matter. How did Mr. Detti end up deceased in the safe?
I do not know.
Madam?
I don't know anything about his death.
Are you sure this is how you wish to proceed?
It is the truth. Please, just leave me be.
Oh, what a long day.
Were you aware of this, Mr. Capello? Of the relationship between your wife and Niccolo Detti?
Enough! I will not hear it. Augusta is an impressionable woman feeling the stress of this horrible situation. She does not understand what she's saying.
I see. So, you think...
I think that if you want to help, you should stop bothering my wife and find the criminal responsible.
I will return.
Yeah, I did.
It is a shame it has come to this, but it is patently obvious that you are responsible for Niccolo Detti's death.
How dare you? I wouldn't want him to.
I see you need some persuasion. I know that Niccolo Detti went to the office to meet you. It was a midnight tryst. Niccolo would visit the office once Basilio left, but this time he returned. So you hid Niccolo in the safe. A foolish move.
I didn't know the code had changed. It was the only choice. I couldn't let him be found. I loved him.
Really? You could have saved his life by simply speaking with your husband, but you sought to free him another way. To free Mr. Detti, you hired Felicia Sevigny, a petty burglar, to crack the safe. And as a result, you killed your lover.
No. It's because the combination had changed. It is not my fault.
You are splitting hairs, Mrs. Capello. The fact remains you chose to risk Niccolo's life rather than call your husband. And I know why. You were afraid how it would affect the reputation of the Capellos, and you feared what your husband would do as a consequence.
He's a good man, but he cares about his business, about the family. It would have destroyed him.
And now he's accused of murder, Mrs. Capello. How considerate of you.
Mio Dio, how did this all happen?
Mrs. Capello, there is a way out of this mess. When the inspector arrives, tell him very little, insist you were with your husband and that he is innocent. But afterwards, you must tell Basilio about Niccolo. You wronged your husband. He deserves the truth.
Perhaps. Yes, I believe you are right. Please give me some time to prepare myself. And thank you.
Goodbye, madam.
I'm behind you with this one. Some people deserve a second chance.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't help you, friend.
Extra! Extra! Capello walks free! Basilio Capello released today by the court. The cheapest news on the island. Thank you.
Could you help me?
Oh, mister, helping you will be a tremendous honor.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't tell you, because I don't know.
Help me, please.
I can't say I've ever heard about that.
May I ask for your assistance?
No, I don't know anything, friend.
Oh, I am
Welcome,
bored.
brother. You
Call
can
me when you
always
find the answer.
food and shelter here.
His dry, hacking cough is getting worse by the second. He has trouble catching his breath. His fingernails are blue. Looks like he's having an asthma attack.
Quickly, do something! I think this man is suffocating. We must help him. Look, here's some medicine. Could be useful.
A strong painkiller, but it won't help with asthma. Aha! Ether. That can stop the asthma attack. Acetylsalicylic acid. Useless.
God bless you, young man.
Phew, that was close. But you saved him, Sherlock.
God bless you, young man.
Different sizes, different colours. Some clothes are new. These instruments are of inferior quality, but in capable hands they can save lives. Such insanitary conditions. Horrific.
They even keep medical records. Impressive for a gang.
The boss has a lot of...
That's far enough, little one. The boss is busy.
But I need to speak to him. It's urgent.
I'm sure it is. Look, there's going to be a fight in the arena today. So unless this building's on fire, it will have to wait.
What do you mean, a fight in the arena?
You're new around here, aren't you? The cretins who killed the priest will face trial by combat in the arena of justice. That's what you get for breaking the law. The boss didn't create it for nothing.
It's vitally important. Let me in, please.
You think the magic word will do the trick? No.
I hear the gang is looking for new members.
I'd like to join you.
There's not enough meat on you. We've no use for a scrawny weakling.
I'm not scrawny, I'm just thin-boned. Besides, I know my way around a gun better than anyone in your gang, I'd wager.
You've got some nerve. See those bottles over there? Go on, shoot them. Show me how good you are. You might make yourself useful after all. Go on in then.
Hey, didn't I ask not to be disturbed? What's with the shooting out there?
Sorry about the bother. Your guard took a little convincing to let me in. Not to worry, though. Everything's fine, except for a few broken bottles.
Then what do you want with the righteous? Spit it out, I haven't got all day.
I'm here to talk to you about the murder of Father Alexandra.
Oh, that. Nasty business. Those responsible will soon be brought to justice.
Killing the priest doesn't strike me as very righteous. Why did they do it?
Every tree has a few rotten apples, doesn't it? They caught him stealing from our ladders. But there was no need for bloodshed. I gave no such orders. Alexandro might not have been one of us, but we were fighting a common enemy.
This enemy being who, exactly?
Not who. What? Poverty, inequality, and justice. We follow our law just as Alexandro followed his God's commandments.
What do you mean by justice? I doubt that you're planning to turn them into the police.
Of course I'm not. They will receive their punishment in the arena of justice.
So you're going to kill them just like that?
Watch your mouth, boy. I'm not a murderer. They brought it upon themselves. The law applies to all.
The murderers must be arrested, not lynched. Let me take them to prison.
Do you have some guts to barge in here and make demands? I don't know you, boy, and I don't care why you want to save their hides. But that is not happening.
Listen, I want them to pay for what they've done, but making them fight for their lives is savagery.
Savagery? So you think rotting in a cave, suffering daily beatings from the pigs, only to be eventually hanged and dumped in a gutter is better? You say you want justice? Fine, go down and fight. Let the arena decide. Whatever you do to them, or they do to you, will be just. That's my only offer. Take it, or get the hell out.
All right, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty to see criminals behind bars.
If you make it out alive, I won't stop you. Don't assume they'll go down easily, though. They'll take their chances and give you no quarter.
I'm coming for you.
Oh! Ah! Don't bother moving. You've lost. Don't cry, you'll live. Take a...
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming for you.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Give them the pepper snuff. Time to knock.
I couldn't miss the party. Eat lead.
No more crime.
The snuff's ready.
Don't bother moving. You've...
Give him the pepper snuff.
I'm coming for you.
No more crime for you.
The snuff's ready.
Take a rest.
Give him the pepper snuff.
I am invincible. Your tricks are you. Get ready for some pain. I am invincible. Your tricks are useless.
We can overcome the brute now.
Too simple.
Today, justice is on your side, boy. I give you my word, and I'll keep it. My men will deliver the murderers to the police. You think you've saved their lives, eh? But for how long? The prison is unforgiving. And unlike here, their hands will be tied.
I fail to see your logic, sir. What I do know is that I'm no judge or executioner, and neither are you. Goodbye.
Go on, off with you.
The righteous watch our miner's end. Nobody cares about us but them.